Hello, today I'm making spaghetti bolognese, so I'm going to be doing me meat and sauce and all of that. I'm not going to be mixing it through like I normally would with my pasta, because this is also going to be available for my gluten-free child that lives with us in the house. So I'm just using your normal spaghetti pasta. Don't even know what brand this is, but it doesn't really matter, it's always just the same stuff. And then in here we have some gluten-free pasta, which is I'm free from, which is the brand, and it's just free from gluten and any other sort of stuff in here, which it doesn't actually have an allergy anything list on here. Like, it says it's free from gluten, but is it saying it's perfect? So it's perfect gluten-free, it's got no milk products, it's got no soy products, like, it's apparently just the perfect product, because there's no allergy list on here. So apparently I'm free from is gluten-free and everything free, so there we go. I'm using celery, zucchini, carrot, mince, mushroom. Mushroom is a substitute for meat, but I wanted to have mushroom finely diced, but it's going to be like a sprinkle on top. And I use a whole clove of garlic because garlic is really yummy. All of these ingredients can be substituted out with whatever you prefer, because you're just making a meat sauce, and it can be whatever you like. So first I'm going to start off preparing my garlic. I just already had the garlic dealt with first, so all of it then peeled and separated and makes my job a lot easier. And I'm looking in the wrong place. Yeah, there was like a little red bowl in there somewhere, but that's gone. Anyway, so most of this meal is going to be grated, so it's all fine. Oh, what am I doing? I don't need it in there. Yeah, it's going to be finely grated. So a lot of this might be speed red, and that's just to get rid of that whole grinding everything up and whatnot. But everything will be cooked and everything. We're almost done here. So this recipe is just me making a whole heap of ingredients and putting them together and enjoying it. Leave down in the comments if there's a particular ingredient that I didn't use today that you prefer to use, just so I can possibly give that a go as well in the future. And if I do happen to use your ingredients, I will leave you a shout out in the video or in the comments or something like that, just to acknowledge that it was your recipe that I used, because I like trying different products and such. I'll go back to those in a minute. I want to keep my chopping board clean. I don't want to get any of that stuff mixed up. I'm going to pull that out of there, get that out of the way. Now, I do want to get myself one of them garlic mincers at some stage, because I like my my garlic like really mushed, but I don't have all the gear I'm going to need. And even I make myself nervous sometimes when I'm cutting up these pieces of garlic. So to future-proof, I might have to invest in one. But even though it looks still very chunky, it should finish breaking itself down during the cooking process. So I'm going to move that straight over to the frying pan. Blade up when you're scraping. It doesn't really matter too much when it's plastic. But if it was like a metal surface or wooden surface, you'd start blowing off the knife. Trimming off the carrots, once again, pre-prepared. These are peeled carrots. I chose peeled carrots because I didn't want to go through the hassle of cleaning them up. Did I tell you I was making spaghetti bolognese? I think I did. But I'm just going to get all these done first, instead of one after another. Alright. Zucchini. Now my fridge is still on the fritz, so I'm hoping that these aren't actually frozen. They feel very cold and hard. But we might have just started doing this in time. I even wasn't sure if I wanted to do it today, but I'm glad I did. Now all of these are going into the mixer. I'm just making them smaller portions so they're easier to manage in the mixer, because we don't have one of those fancy industrials. Speed run. Look at me go. Don't even need a time lapse on this. Alright, now we've got celery. I'm not going to use the whole celery. I reckon that might be enough. What do we got left? We got, yeah. Prepared the pears. Same age, same income. Same celery contribution. And I don't mind celery, I enjoy it. I usually prefer it for the taste. Not the taste, the texture. And it just mixes it up a little bit. Just like having the way that we prepare the pasta here at home. We have just a mixed bag of pasta. We got your spirals, shells, and whatnot. And wasn't something that I was super keen on or even cared too much about. But the celery, the pasta, being a total mixed bag, was the main reason behind that was cook time. I didn't think there was a difference in the cook time. Pasta's pasta, but I just cooked when it cooks. But it turns out, no, different cook time. So, very clean mega mushroom. I'm not going to skin this because there's no funkiness on there I don't like. I might pan fry this by itself with a bit of butter. And just, yeah, I want to make it like a crumbly, sort of like a mushroom sprinkle on it. So, yeah, if you're not into mushroom, you don't have to have mushroom. You don't even need to add this part into the meal. I just saw it in the shop and I'm like, I haven't had mushroom in a while, which leads me to my next thing I want to talk about. I plan on making mushrooms my main ingredient at some stage in a meal. I've made it in the past. It's to die for. It's not my recipe, but it was something I saw and I've sort of created my own twist to it. So I'm going to do that eventually and we'll make a video of that too. So, I don't know, I'm just going to do triangles and we'll get that shaped how we want to through the machine. But being small and prepared now, that's going to get dealt with at the end. And it's just the mince, but the mince is going to go in first. Oh, hang on. Onion. We need to get the onion in as well. I need to get a new knife. This one sucks. It doesn't hold an edge. So I'm sharpening it a lot. I am using an electric sharpener. I'm not very good with a stone. I just don't know what the correct angle is, and I could do YouTube videos and I could research and get good at it eventually. And I'm sure a lot of people are probably raising their nose up at the whole idea of an electric sharpener, but I'm not going to I'm not the first to admit that I want it to be easy. So I don't want to be busting me bum off to receive the same results. Maybe slightly less, but yeah, I don't know. Just out of convenience, I'm just gonna put it there because that should be the right size now to fit in there. Once again, I'm happy with the onion core. There's no green growth in there. Nothing look hard and drying out, so we can keep it whole. I think that might be it. Actually, so I am going to start preparing these. So we're sizing up meal portions based on the container size. Right, that's one. I am going to. Now, gluten-free, we're trying to not contaminate. That's why we're doing it in two separate pots. Gluten by medical rather than choice. Oh, try not to make a mess. There we go, there's 3 bowls there. And whatever's not probably going to get eaten tonight anyway, so. Right, we'll put some water in there. We're going to get this on the stove first, because the other pasta is probably going to take less time. Now, any other person will probably have the water boiling already. But I do it this way because I want to know how much water I actually need to the amount of pasta I've chosen beforehand. If I choose pasta after I've already put the water, then I've got a really weird combination, then it cooks differently and I watch it more often. But without any worrying about any measurements or anything, just water in the pot. Done. I'm not going to do the other pasta just yet because there is no room on the stove. It's a crappy small 4 burner with only one good mega heat pad. All the other ones are medium or small. So we're going to come back to that, but we are going to go prepare this. So then when I return, it'll be completely mixed up and magic. Ta-da! So now I've got my mixed vegetable already done and in a new bowl. I also have my mushroom. It isn't shredded, it's diced. It's a little bit wet, so it's a little bit stuck together, but it'll dry. And then we move over to the fry pan where I've got my onion already in with my garlic. So that'll be ready to go. Now, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my mince. So I'm going to prepare my mince, which is very, very easy. We bought this from the local butchers. You can buy this mince from anywhere. You can buy it from supermarkets and whatnot. Butchers aren't really like the small person, the small man, but support local. I'm going to throw this meat in there. We're doing 1 kilo of mince. I did buy it in 2 different bags because I was going to do 2 different meals. However, because I'm doing a gluten-free and a main meal, yeah, we're just going to put the whole kilo in. Alright, we got it all in there very nicely. Grab my utensils, wooden spoon or plastic on non-stick surfaces. This is going in once all the meat and stuff goes brown. So, I'm going to get this all prepared. Get the heat on. Alright, so all I'm doing is separating the meat. Get this all nice and brown. Once it's all nice and brown, we'll start chucking in some of that. Alrighty, so now that my mince is just about done, it doesn't matter if it isn't completely done because we're still going to wait for this to cook through. We're using a lot of that liquid that's still in there. And one other thing that I've forgotten to mention is we're using tomatoes. And we're using like a tomato sauce that once again, you'd think after the amount of videos I've done, I would have been prepared for. I have not included those in the list of ingredients I've used yet. So I'll get those done once I've got this stirred in, and I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit now. But I'm mixing in all that goodness in with the meat. See, you can almost make meatballs too with these. Like, you've got all your ingredients you would to make a meatball. And a meatball can have anything in it. But I'm just mixing it through a little bit. Alright, now I want to get some tomatoes out. So, diced tomatoes. We're going to burn off a little bit of that liquid. So, where's my little clubby thing? So I'm going to burn off a little bit of that tomato liquid because we're still going to put sauce through it. I'm just going to try and get those tomato chunks mixed in a little bit there. Pasta has already been done, that's the gluten-free stuff. Now the normal spaghetti pasta is in the pot and boiling as well. So that is done. So I'm just going to sit here for a bit and just going to stir this through. And then we shall apply some... what do we got? Then we're going to apply some of this Passata Classic. Is that right? Or is that meant to be Pasta Classic and they've just done a typo? You'll have to tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong. But anyway, we're going to add that to it. Alright, so that's pretty much the mince done now. I'm going to rinse out this, try and tidy up a little bit, get a bit of room. Alright, I'm going to pour in this passata sauce. And I am tough, but these things I didn't know existed until I did, and they are wicked. Alright, I'm going to pour some sauce in, all of it, and we're going to boil that, we're going to simmer it down. You can put water in there and grab more out of it, but I'm not too worried about that. I want to add some herbs, no salt, no pepper, but we're using mixed herb blend from Master Foods. And it looks like I need a teaspoon of that because it doesn't have one of them shaker tops. So I'll say, I need to get an opinion from my cameraman woman. Bit more than half. This could be added also to taste too, but I don't really use herbs. But I wanted to try it, and I didn't want to overpower it and ruin it. So it's better to talk to someone about who has used it, and Google. She's basically Google. So, and then chives are sort of like to taste really. So, alright. I don't know if I'm just mentioned it, but this is wet. Didn't dry out as quick as I hoped, so I'm just going to throw it through the meal. Get all that goodness and all that flavour mixed through. We're almost done here on the mince and flavouring and all the seasonings, and we'll do a quick taste test. A good chef always tastes their food before they serve it. Now, it's not a fancy restaurant. It's not a fancy spaghetti bolognese that you pay 30 bucks for, but that is pretty damn good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm happy with that. There is a little bit of juice in it. Alright, so that's fine, but because pasta dries out, or at least gluten-free stuff does, I'm going to leave a lot of that juice in. However, you could ladle that stuff out and make your own juice soup if you're so inclined to. But I am keeping that liquid in there because that's all the goodness that I want my pasta to absorb. So we're going to start serving up. Now I'm still waiting for the normal spaghetti pasta, but I'll show you video pictures or whatever at the end of that. It's basically the same prep. If you're gluten-free and you've got a household that isn't, make sure you're using separate tongs. That's why these are pink. These ones are highlighted as gluten-free. And then serve into the container whatever suits. I'm just doing, about that. And then I want a ladle. Ladle. Oh, look at that slop.
So one thing I want to mention is the reason we did the gluten-free pasta first is that it meant we didn't have to wash the pot out to then cook the normal pasta. Whereas if you go the other way, you have to completely wash out your container before cooking the gluten-free. And same with the dishing. If you dish the meat and touch pasta with your ladle, you're contaminating your meat.
So I'm going to continue this process of preparing these meals. You'll get still shot images of these, but I'm going to bring one over so you can have a look and just see at the excellent that is the spaghetti bolognese. Okay, so now that we've done all the gluten-free pasta, I'll show you in still pictures of that shortly. My spaghetti pasta is now done and been strained. I'm mixing my pasta, this one. The other one, in order for us to keep it separated, we had to do the way we dealt with it. And that is the same straining pot we used for the gluten-free stuff, but because the gluten-free stuff was done first, it's not cross-contaminated. So, pretty sure that is mixed good now. So, we're going to start serving. Alright, got a big chunk of pasta and sauce. Looking bloody good, actually. I'm loving the look of this. Alright, so, let me show you this one. And so, doesn't that look shiny? I love it. Maybe someone would say, oh, you didn't rinse the pasta, and that's fine. Very starchy, but fills you up. Now, so thank you very much everyone for following along. There'll be pictures somewhere about here, and here of all the finished product and how much we actually was able to make out of just what the ingredients we had. So, once again, thank you very much. I hope I did a justice to the spaghetti bolognese and gave someone some inspiration to the sort of things they can put in it. So, once again, thank you, and I hope to see you all again soon.